Hello, this is my review of the Isambard Kingdom Brunel and his rivals, men who changed the globe forever. Not only about Isambard Kingdom Brunel, but George Stephenson and Robert Stephenson. I won't go through all of it, it's quite a thick magazine, but I'll just go through bits of it. Got 9 chapters, being Brunel and beyond. George Stephenson, Brunel's greatest rival. Chapter 3, the world's greatest intercity railway. Chapter 4, big chance, biggest railway. Chapter 5, forgotten fathers of railway. Chapter 6, seeking an alternative to steam. Chapter 7, sons of the father. 8, prodigies who looked out George Stephenson. Chapter 9, the end game. This is the world's most famous steam locomotive, the LNR A3 Pacific, number 60103, Flying Scotsman. Made yet more history when it entered Cornwall for the first time on October 6, 2018. It was heading Guildford-based rail operator. Being Brunel and beyond. Engineering wizard Isambard Kingdom Brunel has continued to inspire and amaze generations for a century and a half after his death, and a new state-of-the-art museum exploring his life and achievements has opened Bristol, the heart of Brunel country. Isambard Kingdom Brunel, great-grandfather liner, the SS Great Britain, is the centrepiece of Bristol's harbour and next door to the now being Brunel Museum. I've been there, it's quite good. You can actually go, you've got this glass floor here, and actually go underneath it so you can actually see what it looks like underneath, and you have to go inside as well. What it looks like inside. Construction of the Thames Tunnel in 1830. An 1839 cutaway diagram of the Thames Tunnel. The Thames Tunnel was originally designed for horse-drawn rear carriages, but was never used for that purpose. In September 1865 it was built by the East London Railway Company and converted to rail use. The East London Railway later became London Underground, East London Line. Between 2007 and 2010 it was upgraded to become a part of the new London Overground. It is pictured during a Thames Tunnel walk open day in March 2010. Thomas Telford manual suspension bridge, seen from Angleside, with the mountains of Snowdonia in the background. This is the Clifton suspension bridge in Bristol. And that's the Thomas Telford Iron Bridge over the River Spey native Scotland. During the crown of the Avon Gorge, the Clifton Surrender Bridge at sunset. It's a photo of sections of vacuum pipe. From Edinburgh, Brunel, South Devon, Atmospheric Railway. That's George Stephenson's Brunel greatest rival. George Stephenson was building steam railways many before Edinburgh King Brunel set about. Designing his London to Bristol line, but their alternative and not altogether too dissimilar rail technology would continue to rival each long after their architect's passing. That's George Stephenson's Houghton locomotive of 1822 on display inside locomotive National Railway Museum. And that's the original locomotive number 1. It can be viewed on static display inside the head of museum, Carlington Railway Museum. Apparently this is the world's first intercity railway. The once literate George Stephenson had excelled himself with the building of the world's first public steam operating railway linking collieries in the north east to a port. Next step in his illustrated rag to riches creator would not only be building of a railway to link two of European major cities, but the development of competent tractors to haul its trains that would set the blueprint for future steam locomotive development. It's a drawing of the famous Rainhill trials of 1829. This is a super detailed 3D image of the rocket, now freely available on the internet. Web Technologies broadcast hidden secrets of the rocket. Rocket on display inside the Museum of Science Industrial in Manchester. Big chance, biggest railway. When Isambard Kingdom Brunel wrote on George Stephenson's Liverpool Manchester Railway, experienced a bumpy ride and wrote in his diary he could do better. Fate had it would be not be kept waiting
This
too
is the
long.
last bit I'll do about this magazine. Seeking an alternative to steam. Even before the steam locomotive had evolved into anything reassembled as a modern form, inventors were already looking at alternatives which could be more effective and efficient. One of better known schemes was Isambard Brunel's short-lived South Devon atmospheric railway, a major relic which was rediscovered in April 2018. Even before Stevens' rocket appeared, Brunel was experimenting with locomotives that could be powered by a chemical reaction. However, in trying to make the steam locomotive concept or even replace it outright, Brunel had many rivals both before and long afterwards. So basically, it was like a pipe which powered the train along. The loco was connected to the pipe, and it was like a suction power. The atmospheric railway pumping station at Dorkey, with its pool of water to supply its steam engine in the foreground. It's a vacuum bigger than a Hoover. And that's what the pipe looked like. When Isambard saw atmospheric propulsion at work, he believed he had found the future of rail transport, a new system which was clear, silent and fast, which lighter and more effective trained become atmospheric traction, did not depend on the adhesion of heavy locomotives to the rails. He could economise on earthworks, cutting costs while allowing steeping times. To boost power on the gradients, all he had to do would increase the diameter of the vacuum pipe, add a second pipe, or build a bigger pumping engine. So a locomotive would have run on rails, and that's the bit where the loco would have fitted onto the pipe, I mean. And they found this long forgotten cavern beneath Starcross, which was believed to have built for Isambard Brunel's atmospheric railway pumping station above. The underground reservoir was rediscovered in April 2018 by Environment Agency contractors who lifted a manhole cover. The 105-foot long and 10-foot wide caverns were a spectacular display of staticles formed by dripping water from the roof and linked by 120 arches. Were rediscovered purely by chance as workmen carried out a 4 million tidal flood defence scheme in the seaside village. Environment Agency began work on the scheme for Starcross and Cotwood in January. That was a pumping station long demolished at Newton Abbey. And that was what says workmen building the South Devon Railway were depicted laying atmospheric pipes between Totnes and Little Hempston. Well, that's some of the magazine. There's a lot about it. There's about at Dawlish, damage to the railway after storm in February 2014. The breach of February left both tracks hanging in mid-air. So there's quite information about bits and pieces about the railways, even about the future of space age, hover rail, and bridges and that. So, it takes quite a long time to read it all, so I'll give it 9 out of 10. It's a very good information about Isambard, Kingdom Brunel, George Stephenson. You know, like what they've done. They certainly did change the world. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.